Hey cuties, PeachY here. Welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have a lot of Monster High news, so stay tuned and let's get into it. First up, thanks to @MonsterHighRetro on Instagram for sharing these pictures. The Argos UK it's not a toy store, it's like a store chain, I guess, is now carrying the Monster High G3 core dolls. They have all of them in hand: Laguna, Claudine, Draculaura, Cleon, Frankie, and they are all available for purchase right now. Now, they also wrote in a caption that perhaps the group productions and Reel Drama will also show up in, I guess, retail stores all around Europe, UK, and honestly, I would love to see that, but judging by the troubles that Mattel has had to fulfill orders and stock and shipment just for the US alone, I don't think it's gonna be very likely that we're gonna get to see too much of Reel Drama or Creep Productions here in Europe. I just don't know. I think for now their priority is to get back on track with all the orders that they're behind on in the US, and then do international. But I don't think we are the priority. I think it's more like just getting back on track and just stopping behind on orders and shipments, and because they have too much demand. Like the dolls, they're on demand too much, and that means they can't catch up with production. And yeah, so it's a whole mess. Next up, thanks to @MHUpdates and Milk Tea Dolls, the Creepover party dolls are also getting more stocked up in Walmart here. Specifically, this one is from Tucson LA Chula, or is it Tucson La Chula? Is one name, or is it in LA Tucson Chula? Girl, I am so sorry, I've never heard of that place. But yeah, Walmart's basically, keep your eye out if you're still looking for the Creepover party dolls, because they seem to be getting more stocked up recently, and that's great, because now it's a new year, and I guess they really had to stock up for Christmas. And then now, since Christmas, everyone buys all the dolls, and there's nothing left on the shelves, so they're finally catching up, and they're stocking shelves back up with dolls again. But apparently, actually, I've heard a lot of people that Target still hasn't stocked up all the dolls on shelves, so it's kind of still empty, and that's really sad. Then thanks to Monster High Retro again, we have this post here that I believe is from Reddit. Someone found the Reel Drama dolls in Brazil, a specific location unknown. It just says AM here, but this reminds me of when in the early release months of Reel Drama, there was this whole opening party at a store. I believe there was also in Brazil or in Spain, and they also had a lot of Reel Drama dolls. So I'm not sure why Brazil or Spain keep getting Reel Drama dolls, and everyone else in Europe or just is not getting the Reel Drama dolls. So I don't know what's happening. Maybe that's a sign of restock, or that Mattel is catching up with their orders and shipments, so maybe that's a good sign. I think any sign of Reel Drama being found in stores is a good sign, because that means that there's more stock getting put out there, so that's good. I hope that they eventually arrive to us here in Europe, and everywhere else, because they're really gorgeous dolls, and it really sucks that they're so hard to get your claws on. Thanks to Monster High Retro here. We also know that the Holiday Love Valentine's 2-pack is also back online again on Amazon.com, retailing at $60 US, and the item it says here the item will be released on January 20th, but if you actually click on the pre-order button and not on the picture itself, you should be able to add it to your cart and buy it. So be sure to remember that, because if you do click on the picture, it'll show you there's no the wrong page, error page not found. So I will leave the link down below, so try your luck. And they do apparently ship internationally as well, just of course the prices vary depending on location and shipping costs as well. Speaking of, Amazon UK is now also carrying all of the Monster High G3 dolls. They have Creepover dolls, Twilight, but not any of the other ones, or maybe they do and I just haven't seen them. They also have the Deuce and Frankie 2-pack, but I haven't seen the Coffin Bean, the Ghoul Mobile, or the Gorganizer. So they are missing a few things, but overall they do have the signature 5 ghouls, you know, Dracula, Laguna, Cleo, Claudine, and they're all priced regularly. Laguna is supposed to be released later in January, like late January, so I do think like by February they should be all priced normally, and they are priced usually at $29.99. And then Gulia, Torlai, and Deuce, they're a little more expensive because I do think some of them are still being sold by third-party resellers. So let's see how soon they're going to be sold at retail, at normal retail prices again. So yeah, let's see. But this is a really good start. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen these dolls on Smith's Toys yet, but here's hoping that it won't be too long now. Now moving on to some Elvira Skullector doll updates. If you haven't seen my video from yesterday where I do a full-on breakdown of the doll, then be sure to check it out because there is some tea to be uncovered there. But I believe Monster High Retro posted on their story, and it says that, you know, Kylie Jenner is, you know, dressed up as all Skullector dolls, and like most recently, you know, Elvira, and then Frankenstein's Bride, and that is a big coincidence. It's kind of like weird that Kylie Jenner has like literally dressed up as both of them, and now they're both Skullector dolls. But I feel like that is just a coincidence, because it's not like she also dressed up as Tiffany, you know, Bride of Chucky. That would be weird because we're also getting a Tiffany Skullector doll. So, and look at the picture I found here by On Toy Officials on Instagram, which basically shows us what the Elvira doll would have looked like if she had gotten some kind of a breast enlargement treatment, and I can definitely see why Mattel chose to not to do any kind of special treatment over the bosom area, because it just doesn't look right. And obviously it's also mega exaggerated here. The proportions, it's like huge. They could have also just added a little bit of cleavage and that would have already been enough. But I understand it, and honestly I don't mind it too much. I feel like it's okay. I don't feel like I'm missing out too much by her not having like her signature like big ass. It's like I'm okay with it. Like she's still cool to me. Get ready to get your mind blown because this shook me. So everyone's been calling Elvira's eyeshadow and the makeup really bright and like clown makeup, but the reason why it's so specific and you know, it's just very bright, it's because it actually represents the bisexual flag of colors, and that's also how Cassandra Peterson identifies as. I did not know that, and this is thanks to Cactus Alucano. Here they left a comment, so thank you so much for letting me know and letting all of us know, because I did not notice, and now it makes so much more sense as to why they chose these specific colors. Because obviously when you look at Elvira in photos, she has very dark makeup, so them making the makeup here in a doll very bright didn't make any sense at first, but now knowing the reasoning behind this makes 10 times more sense and makes the doll itself also way more meaningful, at least to me. I feel like that just makes it, that just made the doll to me much more like valuable, and I feel like for that reason alone she's much more of like important, I guess, even just, and it's crazy, it's like nothing, it's just the makeup, and it's not even like positioned in a certain way like the flag, but once you know, it's so cool. And I'm really happy that, you know, Mattel, Monster High, and Cassandra, they could work it out, and that they chose on that makeup choice and to represent, and maybe it wasn't even intentional. I do think it is though, because it's a very specific range of colors, you know, the bright pink, the blue, and the purple. So I feel like it is kind of intentional, but maybe it's just like more like a little tease, and I just love that. I feel like that's really awesome, and this is really cool. And then lastly, thanks to Monster High Retro who pointed this out, apparently there's gonna be like a collab between this artist and Monster High. So this came out of nowhere. The artist is called Brando Chiesa on Instagram, and he almost has 1 million followers, and he's verified, so those are some credentials right there. The caption in his bio reads pastel gore ex anime metal, so anime/metal, and he's Italian. So yes, the kind of artist, the kind of artwork he does is very again, it's like anime slash metal, and then he also does like Bratz, for instance, and like Wings Club stuff that's inspired kind of like the anime slash metal scene and like punk rock and like e-girl. So very much like in kind of like that vein. Like it's like very like, you know, like Hello Kitty, it's like cute, but like also like complete opposites, like very punk rock, a lot of piercings, a lot of like, you know, it's like you can kind of imagine here from the Bratz pictures that he's done, and then also Wings Club, you know, what he's all about aesthetically. And then also actually this post was from a year ago in January. This was Bratz themed, and in the caption he wrote Bratz on Monster High, and that's, I don't think that has anything to do with like the story that we're gonna see in a second, but it's kind of funny that now we're getting a story that we got a story from him, and that's like a little tease of something that apparently he's working with Monster High together on. It's like a project. So what is he talking about? What is this? I don't know. This is, yeah, very mysterious. Something important to note here is that he specifically tagged Mattel and Mattel Creations, not Monster High. That's because I think, also based off just because of the more adult kind of art style that he goes for, he's partnering up with Mattel Creations and Mattel, and not Mattel Creations and Monster High specifically. I think it's gonna be maybe like kind of something artsy, because Mattel Creations has done a lot of like very like artsy stuff. Like they've literally invited over designers and artists to recreate some Hot Wheel cars and stuff. So they've done a lot of various stuff, and besides Barbie and Monster High. So it could be something completely different that's just kind of like inspired by Monster High, and maybe it's just like a piece of artwork. Maybe it's like a line of clothing, maybe it's some merch, maybe it is I don't think it will be a doll. I don't think that's just the kind of project that he's working on. This looks more to me like it's just maybe some artwork for maybe like a doll line, or maybe it's like inspired for like a campaign for a future doll line, or maybe it's like maybe it's like something for a future clothing line for Monster High. It could be anything that he's working on. It could be for a project, it could be that what he's working on is the project, or it could be like a collaboration. It could be so many different types of things that he's working on with Mattel Creations. So it could be many different types of scenarios. The picture, we can see the title Monster High, and on the bottom we can see what looks to be a fusion between Claudine and Draculaura. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what's... Yeah, there's a lot of questions here up in the air. Why is Claudine blonde? Why does Draculaura have bat wings? Who knows? Does there have to be an answer? Who knows? I went back to check his stories if it had updated or anything, and he actually removed the last story, the picture that I also ended up removing from this video, just because I want to be safe. I don't want to risk it, because if he deleted that picture from his story after like 3 hours, then that must have meant that not only was it legit, whatever he's working on with them, but also that he was not supposed to share it. So I'm not going to show it here, but again, link in the description as always to the Instagram post, and I hope that's okay. But yeah, very, very interesting, very suspicious, definitely. If he hadn't deleted it, I wouldn't have thought much of it. Like I would have thought like, okay, it's cool, like there's nothing to suspect. But now that he's literally taken it down, I'm like, oh, this definitely is a red flag that it was something important and he was not supposed to show it. But yeah, that was the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, so you don't miss out when I post more content like this, coming your way daily and keeping you up to date with all the adulty you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time. Stay peachy. Kisses.